What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tor Crunch, and today we're back for another video. So once again, we're gonna be doing a ranking, or tier ranking of the speed attribute characters in the game of Bleach Brave Souls. We're not doing all of the speed characters in the game, but just kind of like the better ones. And actually the cutoff will be exactly the speed Sun. So that's as far as we'll go back. One thing before I even get started, I do want to mention once again, this is my opinion. This isn't something that you might agree with, but at the same time, try to see it from my perspective. And obviously after the video, go ahead and comment down below why you don't agree with me, or why you would rather put a character in a different spot, and we can just go ahead and further discuss that. And one other thing that I do want to mention before we get into it, I did go ahead and add a few other columns. Instead of just going from S, A, B, C, and D, we do have an S plus, A plus, and a B plus. It gives us a way of just separating characters and having more tiers to it all. So with that said, let's get right into it. Starting off with the C rank, Omaida is the first one that we have in here, and to be completely honest with you, Omaida is just not that great of a character. He's got strong attacks that I don't know, I feel like they're just kind of not that great. He does have a decent normal attack string because it does have a lot of range, so I guess there's that. But he is a Crystal Link character, so at the very least he's gonna be able to help you in that regard. We have Kaizen in there. Obviously he's just a great link, but not really a character you're going to be using, so I have him in a C. Halibel, this is probably one of the worst characters we've had in a very long time. I just feel like they kind of done her dirty. She doesn't have the best gameplay, and then just the fact that she doesn't have either Flurry or Frenzy just brings her down a lot, and she was actually not that great from the start, from when she first came out. So putting her in at C is actually kind of, I think, the best spot to place her. Love, kind of the same thing. He's not that great. He's just a character that doesn't inflict that much damage, and I mean, he does have a moving vortex, which is kind of unique, but at the same time it just doesn't deal damage, and he's just not that viable anymore. So moving on to the B rank, we do have a few other characters. We do have Lunar Ichigo, or Anniversary Ichigo. This is a character that we got a year or two, no, like 2 years ago, and when he first came out, he was pretty good. I mean, he has really good stats. At the time, he had good stats, he had good skills, and he has a great soul trait of 25% strong attack damage, but there's a few flaws to him, like his range on some of his attacks, and the fact that his third is a charged up attack, I think just brings him back, holds him back a bit. Sun, kind of the same thing. She's just older. She has nice strong attacks. I actually kind of personally like her a little bit more than Ichigo himself, but at the same time, I don't like her enough to put her in B plus. I think they're kind of at the same level. Ishin, the thing about Ishin is that he has nice attack, he has good stats, but his skills kind of are a little worse than you would like, right? I don't know. Overall, he's not the greatest, but he's not the worst. At the very least, he is one of two 25 normal attack damage links in the speed attribute, so he's good at least for that. And now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the B plus. These are characters that I feel are slightly better than the B tier characters. And we'll start off with Swimsuit Soifon from last year. She's got a pretty nice normal attack string, but the only thing is I feel like her strong attacks do hold her back a bit, and I finally actually was able to get a hold of her because I got her on the RTC account during the step ups that we got just recently. And to be honest with you, like, she's good, but her strong attacks aren't the greatest in terms of like crowd control, so I think that holds her back a bit. More than other characters, so that's why I put her in at B plus. Tsukishima is a character that I was debating on putting in at A, but I felt like putting him in at B was the better spot to put him in. He's a normal attack damage character with slightly higher SP. He's a decent character. I mean, he's good at autoing just because he does, he is a normal attack damage character. He's ranged. He has a nice bruiser. His strong attacks are pretty nice. He has a a barrier second strong attack, so that helps out a bit. He is lacking a little bit now because he is a little outdated. He's over a year old now, so because of that, I put him in at B plus. Next up, we've got ourselves Cacao Society Yoruichi. Kind of the same thing as Tsukishima, not as much though. I was debating on putting her in at A rank, but the thing is, like, I'm not the biggest fan of her kit in general. I mean, she's got everything you would ask for in terms of, like, you know, stats, skills and stuff. It's just, I feel like her kit and her strong attacks themselves aren't the greatest. But all in all, I mean, she looks great and I do like her as a character. Xyloporo is actually in a way just a better character like than Ishin, because he is a 25% normal attack damage character. He's one you can use, sort of, right? Still nowadays you can sort of use him still. He has a nice kit. He's ranged. I feel like his normal attack string is a little slow, but he's ranged. He does inflict poisoning, and then he has a second strong attack that heals, and it also does a boost for the team. So pretty unique, and because of that second strong attack, I think I'll go ahead and place him in B plus rank, just because he's slightly better than like Ishin, for example. Halloween Orihime, a character that I really want. I mean, she's a waifu. She's got decent gameplay. She's a charged up attack that kind of holds her back a bit, but I think placing her in at B plus is kind of a good spot to put her in. And not much more to talk about her, honestly. She's just a pretty decent character. Movie Toshiro, this is one that I actually really like, but you know, due to the fact that his first strong attack is a little narrow and isn't as consistent as, you know, you would like, I think that's what holds me back from putting him in at A rank. So Toshiro, unfortunately, B plus, but he's still a decent character. Moving on, we're going to the A tier. Shinji is a character that I actually really like. I feel like he's really unique. He's one of like 2 characters that transforms when he uses his special, and the cool thing is he puts on his mask when you use it, and you know, it's good. He's a good character, but at the same time, I think his first and second strong attacks are actually kind of bad. First one is a walking one, like the Senkaizen, or you know, like those the Aizen forms of out there that, you know, have a first where they just walk forward. I don't know, it just seems pretty damn slow, and I feel like because of that, it just takes forever to completely go off, and so I don't really like his first. And also his second, kind of the same thing as Cacao Society Yoruichi, just doesn't have as much range, and I don't know, it's not that effective. Overall though, he has a nice third strong attack. He has a nice NAD string. It just looks good. It has a nice animation. He's a cool character. 20 DR link as well. At the very least, he's a really good DR link for Chad, but at the same time, yeah, a little disappointing with his first and second. Riruka is another character that I actually like, but at the same time, I feel like her kit isn't the greatest. I mean, she has everything you'd ask for in a character, you know, recharge time minus 12%, frenzy, and good stats, but just her kit isn't the greatest. I feel like it just holds her back a bit, and because of that, I have to put her in at A rank. Sajin is a character that's pretty good. You know, recently I've been seeing him more and more, just because he's actually a pretty decent autoing character. But the main reason I put him in here was because he's actually a pretty decent guild quest character, especially as a secondary character, just because you can use his strong attacks, and he's also a pretty decent combo build up character. So you know, in guild quest, he's actually been pretty usable at times. Tag Team Ikaku is a character I actually think is very underrated and a very good unit even still today, because he's been out for a while now. He has that double killer, obviously, that every tag team character gets, because he has a nice kit, in my opinion. It's not the best kit, but it's a good kit. And you know, overall, he just does really good. He has also a second strong attack that is a barrier. He has that 20% additional damage when you're fully healed up, so that is actually pretty nice as well. And moving on, Lisa, she's a character that's great. I don't know, she's just a good unit. She's one of the first ones to have like that moving vortex that goes in front of her, and you know, she's still good, man. She has good range on all her attacks. She has that moving vortex that's great for guild quests when combo build up, and so overall I think she's a good character. Tag Team Retsu is another one similar to Lisa. She's a decent PvE unit, but mainly is, you know, the good thing about her is her 50 hit vortex. If you don't have Tag Team Ichigo or Rengiku, this speed Tag Team Retsu is actually the third best option for, you know, building up that combo in guild quest. So this one right here was one that I was kind of finding it difficult to rank, just because Broken is a character that's been good and was really good for a very long time, but at this point in the game, there's just better options out there now, and I think he's not as great as he once was. But you know, he's a decent DR link for now, And also, if you don't have Chad, I mean, you can kind of use him. Once he gets his resurrection form, I will say this now, I do believe he'll be even better than he was before. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens when he does get his resurrection. A+, we're starting it off with Quincy Ichigo. He's a character that a lot of people hate on, and I feel like people hate on him a little too much. I don't think he's deserving of that much hate, just because he's not the worst. I mean, like, thinking about it, he's got really high SP. I think he still has the highest SP in the game at 792 or 790 something, which is really, really good. He has Frenzy, obviously, so he's going to be doubling his hits on that high SP, right? And then he has a decent first strong attack, and then his third is great. His second does kind of hold him back a bit. I don't love his third or his second. It just takes a long time to activate, and overall it's just kind of disappointing. He weakens through everything, so the damage output is going to be great, right? And then he also has double flash step, and then yeah, overall just a good unit. Oh, he also has 14 recharge time, which I think all of the good things about him do hold him up to at least an A+ character. There are negatives to him. For example, he has no affiliation killer, which is a horrible killer to have. And like I said, he has a pretty bad second strong attack. But I think, like I said, the things that are good about him at least put him into an A+ character. Kisuke, this one just came out. It's the most recent character out of the speed attribute. I think he's a good unit overall. He's kind of unique with his whole disabler skill and the fact that he, you know, paralyzes on his third and weakens on his special. I think he's a good unit. Not the best, but at the very least, he's a good unit. And you know, if you have him, you kind of see where I'm coming from, because I think he has good animation on all his strong attacks. He looks clean. His black cape on him looks really cool. The only thing that maybe isn't the greatest is that he has a second strong attack where you have to get close up to the enemies. And I mean, it does have a really high mag, but at the same time, it does suck that you have to get close up. And I personally would have rather like a push forward attack. Manga Rukia, this one was one that I was kind of debating on putting in S rank, but after thinking about it, I think A+ is where she's supposed to be at. She has a 20% strong attack damage link, which isn't the greatest, right? It would have been better if she got recharge time. Another thing is that she's kind of slow on her second strong attack. It's actually really slow. It's I think it's one of the slowest second strong attacks out there, and it takes forever to activate. It's nice because it does have pretty good range, but the speed of it holds her back a bit. Overall she's good, but it's just that second strong attack is pretty bad. Manga Shunsui, another character that has pretty decent gameplay. I actually like him a lot. It's just his second strong attack is what holds him back a bit, in my opinion. Same thing as Kisuke. You have to get really close up and personal with the characters, and because of that, it just is a little difficult to kind of get used to. And then also the fact that he's a little outdated with 737 SP. I think A+ is kind of where I would put him at right now. Next up, we've got the S rank characters. These are characters that I think are slightly above those A+ characters, and but not necessarily the best ones in the game. And so Aizen, Parasol Aizen is one that I put in here. He's just such a great character. I pulled him when he came out just a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, he's just one of the better autoing characters out there. I would probably say he's either the first or second best out of the speed attribute, just because he has great skills, great stats. 80% bruiser, just to point out, like, one of his best things. He has 760 something attack, and also he has great crowd control strong attacks. His first is a walking one, right, kind of like Shinji's, but this one's nice because it's fast and quick. And also he has a moving vortex that surrounds him and it lasts forever, so that's great. He has a third that's a full screen, and also he paralyzes through everything. So just overall a fantastic character. Next up, we've got Cacao Society Byakuya. This is actually one I didn't realize was this good. He's kind of like a Shunsui, but better, right? Just because he has better stats nowadays and better skills overall, because Shunsui is wasted with a few of his skills. You know, he has Havoc and Long Reach. Meanwhile, Byakuya has, I think, Long Reach, but he does have Debilitator, because he does actually paralyze through almost everything, right? So Shunsui doesn't have those, Byakuya does. He has the same second strong attack that I think isn't the greatest, but at the same time, it does the same kind of things Shunsui's does, and overall his gameplay is nice. And I think this Byakuya is actually one of those underrated characters as well. Really good unit. Fox Skin, this is one that I've been after for ever since he came out, and I'm still disappointed that I haven't been able to pull him. He's just a good character, man. He's a good, probably one of the better, if not the best, support units in the game, or at least in the speed attribute, just because he has a great second strong attack that heals. He has a really nice normal attack string, and then he has nice strong attacks. I think his kit is really, really good. So again, overall, I mean, he does, I believe, weaken. If he doesn't weaken, he paralyzes. Oh, no, he actually burns. There it is. That's what he does. He actually burns, which is actually very, very clutch when it comes to a few Tower of Ordeal rooms. So there's that. And then also when it comes to guild quests, he's been pretty valuable as a side character, at least. Kokuto, this is another one that I actually really, really like, and I think a lot of people kind of also agree with it. I think this is a good example of, you know, Caleb just making them and having a really, really good kit. Because the thing is, you know, he has good stats, he has good skills, but his kit is what holds him at the top, right? He has a first strong attack that lunges him forward, he has a second that hits everything in front of him, and then he has a third, which is a magnet. And I think he's one of the first magnet characters, right, with a third strong attack. It's just a really, really good kit that he has, and probably the best movie character that we ever got. So yeah, overall, just a great unit. Last but not least, we're going to be doing the S plus characters. These are the very best of the best, and so we're going to go one by one. Manga Yoruichi is the first one we're putting in here. This one was kind of difficult. I was debating on putting her in S rank or S plus rank, but after thinking about it, she's just a good character, man. She's been so good ever since she dropped. You know, in PvE, she's just really fast. She just gets through rooms, and she has good strong attacks. There is a drawback though. Her first strong attack has a pretty bad hitbox. If you can, you know, put that to the side and, you know, at least look over that one small minor detail of hers, she's actually really, really good. Another thing that's unique is that, you know, once she uses her special, she actually transforms and she gets a whole new set of strong attacks that actually also reset. So all in all, man, just a great unit. She paralyzes, she has high SP, she has frenzy, and yeah, she's just a fast freaking character, even though she didn't get long stride, which would have made her even that much more desirable. This one is actually kind of debatable. To some, this might be a little, you know, much, but I personally really, really like this Momo. This Momo right here has been so clutch for me in many, many ways, right? When it comes to autoing, she's actually really, really good because she has one of those amazing kits. She's kind of like Kokuto, where her kit is just great. I think she's actually the best charge attack character in the game. She has a third strong attack that is a charge up attack that I usually don't like, but hers is really, really nice because even if you don't charge it, it does hit really, really good range, and the damage output is great. And yeah, overall her gameplay is nice. She doesn't have any status ailment, but like that doesn't even hold her back, just because she's got such a good kit. She has frenzy, she has high SP, and overall she's just one of those characters with a really, really good kit. And I'll even go as far as to say, like I said, she has the best charged up attack in the game. And last but not least, you guys all expected this one, I'm sure of. It is our boy Chad. Chad is a freaking beast. One of the best PvP units out there. I would actually put him in third spot, right behind obviously Retsu and the Power Kenpachi. He's just so good, man. He's got a decent normal attack string, at least for PvP, right? For PvE content, when using him, it is kind of short ranged, but overall it still does the job. I would say he's the best autoing character in the speed attribute because he has flurry, and flurry is always just going to be superior to anything, right? And you know, he has a boosted second strong attack that helps out with damage output. He does paralyze, although he doesn't have debilitator, which would have been nice, but he does paralyze. And overall, man, just if you want a good character that can, you know, just auto and just carry you through PvP, he is the one to go with, at least in the speed attribute. So yeah, that's actually it for the list. I know that to some, you know, you might not agree. Please let me know in the comments what are some of the things that you would have changed. All in all though, I do feel like I did a decent job on this. I think I like it better this way as well, where we have different tiers, just because it can separate characters, and it gives us a better way of just kind of like grading them all, right? So anyways, with that said, this is a longer video. I do apologize. If you guys did enjoy this though, make sure to hit the like button. I will bring the technique attribute one very soon as well. Also, I do have the power attribute tier list on my channel as well already, so I'll have a link in the description. And also I'll put them all in a playlist so it's easier to watch these, because this is a series I will continue on making because it was very successful and you guys did seem to enjoy it. So yeah, I'll be bringing this to you guys more often. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and I appreciate you guys watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.